Vamos a traducir porque antes creo que ya estamos con el señor Assange en Londres. Este es el comandante de las tropas norteamericanas en Kabul. Vamos a Londres con la última noticia del señor Assange. Alexandra.
Así es, Julio, 2 de la tarde aquí en Londres. Acaba de terminar la rueda de prensa sobre la publicación de los 5 millones de archivos obtenidos por WikiLeaks de la compañía Stratford, y estamos en este mismo momento con el fundador de WikiLeaks, Julian Assange. Julian, welcome to the W Radio, and tell us what is the most relevant information that you got from these files about Colombia or the Latin American countries.
There is information that we have already published about contacts between this company, Stratfor, which is a private intelligence organization operating out of Texas, in the United States, and the Israelis in relation to medical information on Hugo Chavez. But we have only just started this mission. As you may remember, with the U.S. diplomatic cables, information took months and months to come out because of the vast quantity. There's 5 times the amount of information in this material as the U.S. diplomatic cables. So we will see in the days, months ahead, what it has to say about Latin America more broadly.
Andrés.
Bueno, no
vamos a hacer traducción.
Mejor traducimos después.
Preguntemos en inglés, estamos con un señor demasiado ocupado. Sí. Vamos.
Aclárenos cómo han conseguido estas fuentes, por qué han decidido filtrárselas a esos 25 diarios y cuáles son las máximas sorpresas que nos esperan.
Julian, how did you decide which 25 media groups would get this information, and, well, could you give us a preview on a surprise we might be expecting?
These media groups were selected because in most cases we have worked with them in the past, and we have found them to be credible, easy to deal with, not afraid to publish controversial information. A couple of them are new. For example, Publico.es is a online publishing group in Spain who is new and have done good work on this material. It is what you may note is who is absent from this list. Absent are the New York Times, El País, Le Monde, and Der Spiegel. And these groups are absent for a reason. With the exception of Der Spiegel, they were not invited. And they were not invited because, as a result of the cable publishing, we had found that they were censoring material that was to be released in the cables. And we had an agreement that the only sort of information that could be censored was information that might lead to retributions. So people being assassinated or something like this. Definitely not political information or information about someone's criminal activities, etc. But that information was extensively removed by these large organizations that claim to be defenders of the right to freedom of press, but they're not.
Mr. Assange, in the first releases, the media that published for Colombia was El Espectador. You even had an interview with director Fidel Cano from El Espectador. Now, in these new cables, Mr. Fidel Cano appears as if he has a relationship with Stratford Company. Do you know what is the relationship between Mr. Fidel Cano and Stratford, and why in these second releases you don't have El Espectador as one of the media that is publishing cables?
Very good question. We had problems dealing with El Espectador in their publication of the cables. That was a terrible mistake by us to have ever worked with that organization. Instead, we went to the weekly Semana, who did a much better job of working with the cables. El Espectador is listed in the information we have released as a signed Stratfor, this is this private intelligence organization, a signed partner of that organization. We don't know yet what the precise relationship is, but typically these relationships involve the sharing of information that has been collected. So that might mean, for example, El Espectador's journalists giving information to Stratfor that it is collecting from Colombia. We have discovered examples from Brazil of how this operates. Stratfor gives a list of information that it wants, for example, on the military, on cabinet, on key political figures, to media organizations that it has these signed contracts with. So we suspect that is what is occurring with El Espectador, but as yet we only know that there is a signed agreement between them.
Mr. Assange, how's your legal situation right now with United States? Could be more complicated with this release of these documents?
I believe the documents will shed some light on the legal situation. This company has been passing around information about us, as well as various kinds of activists and other governments. The current status is that there is a U.S. grand jury that is trying to indict me and others for espionage, and I am awaiting extradition without charge. I have not been charged in any country to Sweden and have been under house arrest for some 446 days now.
Mr. Assange, thank you very much for being with us in the W Radio, and good luck with your process.
Thank you very much.
Bueno, el señor...
Muy chico, pero ¿y Alexandra por qué lo zafó?
¿Eso por qué?
Yo tampoco entendí.
Alexandra, ¿por qué nos fuimos?
Estaban haciendo señas.
¿Alexandra?
Es que creo que la estaban
Simplemente lo que está diciendo en este momento. Yes, carry on.
No, claro, es que...
No, I'm okay. Which just,
you're on air.
This was the most interesting question that we've had at the press conference, because I actually did some research and looked to see in that list of Stratfor Confederation partners that we released, there is El Espectador in that list, which was our previous partner in Colombia, which they have voted. So it's a good list.
Thank you very much.
Ver, Alexandra, ¿por qué lo zafó? Sí, estábamos todos felices.
No, lo que pasa es que el de prensa nos estaba cortando, nos dijo que ya, de hecho Julian Assange también nos estaba haciendo caras que ya no podía, que nada más me iba a conceder 2 preguntas, bueno, le hicimos 3 al final, y cuando nos despedimos de él, le dijo a sus colegas que fue una pregunta muy interesante la que de hecho hizo María, porque Stratfor tiene vínculos con El Espectador, entonces dice que fue pues un buen research el que se hizo al respecto, porque fue una